Okay, we're trying out new things again. Forgot to change the game capture. Shit. Big brain. Big brain. Ah, there we go. I'm alive. Perhaps. We're trying new things, everyone. We're trying new things. Yeah, let's... There we go. Trying a new way of being able to see my chat. And I can actually see if the audio is broadcasting or not. Speaking of which, I should probably turn off the copyrighted music I have playing on my cellular phone right now. $20 to whoever can guess the song. I don't have $20. Please don't make a bet with me right now. Okay. The tiny candy. So I'm going to hang out here for a minute. I'm going to notify the Discord server, all the fun stuff. Woo! So, I've got something super fun planned for today. My first plan, of course, is going to be... I'm going to move my horses. I made them a new house. We're going to start with moving them because something has happened since everyone was last here with me in the fucking... in the Monkeytown SMP, everybody. Holy shit. Something has happened. There was another incident with some horses, and now I've got more skeleton horses. Oh, that's mildly disorientating. I'm gonna adjust one more thing here real quick. So that way I'm not, like, confused the whole time. Oh, damn it. I almost had it. No, expand that. Make it a big, thick boy. Just cover that. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. You can't see what I just did because it's an OBS thing. But now I can see the chat. I can see the game. I can't see the instant replay of the game in OBS. I see that as an absolute win. And I'm doing it all on one monitor. So, you know, winning. Winning, winning. Alright, so, incident. Sans has some friends now. Sans has some new brothers. And there's too many horses for my house. It was okay when I had like 2. 5 is too many. We're also going to tame one more horse because I have 6 spots for horses. But I've only got 5 horses, so. Let me just open and close my inventory 87 times because I'm trying to remember how to make a fucking pickaxe. I'm smart, everybody, I promise. I'm going to college. I'm smart. Oh yeah, there were also some landscape changes. My house hasn't moved, but I've done some terraforming because that's what I like to do when I'm bored, I guess. So, you know, that's fun. That's a fun time. Sticks are not spruce. They don't have to go in there. Okay. So the axe is the pickaxe here is just mostly to free Johann, Sans, and probably Papyrus. It's going to be really hard to keep track of these horses that don't have names that aren't Johann. Okay. For right now, we're just gonna... There we go. See? Just a little push and then we can leave. So, Johann is special and cool and wonderful, so he gets to go in the first stall. I think I just have to... Yeah, there we go. Alright, Johann. I can also now... There you go, Johann. You don't have to be wearing all your gear anymore because you've got a tack box. See? Wonderful. Can you put armor on skeleton horses? Let me just... Let's go pick up the other boys. We got Sans. You cannot put armor on skeleton horses. See, Sans is he's slow. He's slow for a horse, but it's okay. I can just open the other gate and then he can go through. See, I'm smart. Alright. In he goes. Close those. There we go. Sans has his own little home. So the only reason I decided to do this was because the skeleton horses kept getting stuck on top of each other. There we go. And they would just walk into each other in a big circle. So I separated them. And then I'm like, you know what? Nah, they deserve a proper horse enclosure. That's called a stable. Only geniuses here. There we go. Horse number 2, put away. They're all gonna get name tags. I'm probably gonna give them little signs too, so that way they can have names before I give them name tags, because I haven't found any more yet. See, I think this one's the really fast one. No, he's just a normal horse. I think skeleton horses just all have the same stats, but I could be wrong. I could have sworn one of them was like really fast. Oh yeah, there have been some rearrangements down here as well. And a lot of general mob proofing in addition to the mild amounts of terraforming. Don't worry, they'll be getting hay and stuff too. I just want to like put them away first. So this is the first thing on the docket for the day. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's go. Oh. Is it just me, or are skeleton horses a little bit harder to control than normal horses? That's okay, though. Huh. I thought I had 5 horses, but it turns out I have 6. I might need to make another spot if I plan on having another horse. But for right now, this will do. So the animals are vibing. The chicken's got a slightly larger enclosure. I have 3 sheep and they're all the same color now. The cows. I need to feed them. I need more cow. Alright, last horse. Up and away, up and away. Oh. Come in. Yay. Okay. Got everybody put away. See, this is nice. This is nice. They've got homes now. I'm going to pick up all the hay and distribute it as evenly as I can. But first I'm going to pick up all the fence. It's going to be kind of weird not having Johann in my house. I was going to wait to get a horse for a little while till I found one that was like a fun pattern. I like the dappled gray horses the most, but my man Johann, straight up, After I finished my house, I forgot to shut the door. This was before I had all the fences put in. Straight up, my dude, he he walks into my house like he owns the place, and I can't get him to leave, so it's like, well, I have a saddle that I found, so I guess I have a horse now. And this is fine. You know, I just realized that I didn't plug my headphones in at all. So you guys have been getting twice the fucking Minecraft noises. I swear, it would not be a candy stream if there wasn't some kind of technical difficulty. That's just par for the course, I guess. Alright, let me change my audio settings really quickly. Oh, whoa. You expect nothing but unprofessionalism. There we go. Oh yeah, okay, that's much better. Alrighty. So, how's everyone doing tonight? Are we having a good time? Are we vibing? Unrestrained human fun? I got myself some coffee. I've got some cranberry juice. I'm having a good time. It's not like the sweetened cranberry juice, though. It's like full concentrate. Really bitter. But I like it. We're just vibing for a minute while I check on something. A little something, something. Oh, whoa. Oh, there is somebody here. Hello, singular viewer. Good to see you. Oh. Matt's here. Matt's here. Hello, Matt. Hello. Oh, I missed his message. I missed a letter. Yeah, don't fucking come for me here, dude. Everyone knows I can't type or spell. How many hay do I have? Not 9. Okay, 9 minus 1 is 10, and I have 6 horses. And if I give them all 3 hay, I was gonna give them water barrels too. I learned how to make those. It makes me feel very smart to know how to make those. So if I give... Oh, shit, fuck, I'm a terrible parent. Oh, God, oh, no. Oh, I don't have any horse food. No, fuck. Oh, God. Panic. I'm a terrible mother. Oh, no. Thanks, I just built them today. They're like brand new, like I built them while I was supposed to be paying attention in class. Look, I am a good student. Except for that one class that I have a D in simply because of technical difficulties. But those have been ironed out now, and I'll be submitting the Word documents and stuff to my teacher later. Should I do the whole floor as hay? I mean, I have enough fucking wheat. But, like, do I want that? Oh, he's hanging out over there. Yeah, he's just having a good time. Unrestrained Matt fun. Oh, motherfucker! I'm a terrible parent! God damn it, I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter. I'm not even on Twitter. Why am I concerned about that? I mean, every Minecraft YouTuber gets canceled on Twitter for breathing. But I'm not a YouTuber, so I don't count. Ah, there we go. Hardcore. I still have to figure out how all the mobs are getting into my base. There we go. So, I'm trying to think about what other things should be on the docket for today. Oh yeah, I moved the railroad down. And now I have spruce trees. Lots of them. Because they're my favorite. I should teach Matt how to build stuff. I'm not really all that good at it. I have an eye for it sometimes. I know what looks nice, and I really like symmetry. I'm a fucking nerd for symmetry. What did I come in here for? Right, we're making hay bales, and I'm crying about my horses. I should have done this before I put the horses in their pens. God, I'm a terrible parent. I don't know what I'm gonna do in here. I'm thinking... farm. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hear it clicking. Hello. Someone is here in the Discord with me.
Oh, whoops, I accidentally clicked on the chat.
Ah, there you are. Hello.
Hello, you're playing Minecraft.
Yes, I am playing Minecraft.
Your craft, not mine.
Our craft. Communism simulator. Okay.
God.
So there have been some changes.
Oh no.
In my base. There was a fun little incident where there was another thunderstorm. And now I have more skeleton horses, so obviously I needed a house for them.
Yeah.
So they have homes now. I have 6 horses and only one of them is alive.
I have
he's
several
sleeping.
people.
What was that?
I have several people streaming at the same time.
Oh. You don't have to sit in with me.
Let's see, HMK, probably the most enthusiastic Kingdom Hearts fan.
Oh.
Fatality, one of my favorite players, Smash players.
Oh, there's my coffee, yay.
And Dimitri, who is the hottest fanboy on the internet.
Oh, whoa.
Interesting, he's not gay, he's just a fanboy and he's likes other girls.
Hell yeah, alright.
So another male lesbian.
As
like
it goes.
Me. I remember on another server they were
Oh yeah.
They were trying to normalize he/him lesbians. I don't even know. I don't even believe that's real, but it's cool.
I don't understand it fully, but I'm sure there are reasons for it. It doesn't click for me yet.
I don't even really know how to explain it. I just said it one time and it just kind of caught on.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Breaking things. Causing
I only
problems.
say that because I noticed a lot of girls that I'm interested in are either lesbian or bi.
I mean, fair enough. Today we had to do something in English class that was something else, I'll tell ya. So we basically had to introduce ourselves, and we've been in this class for like 7 weeks now. You'd think we'd be past the introductions phase, but we're not. We had to introduce ourselves with how other people describe us, and it's like, oh, do you want to hear the good things or the not good things? Because I got both. Everybody else had something like genuinely either a neutral or a positive statement, but you know, in my head. Just reciting the Jughead monologue from fucking Riverdale, a show I've never seen.
Right.
You know, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird. I hate that I know every word to that, but it's one of those things that lives rent-free in my head forever. There we go. Only the most exciting of tasks today. I don't know. English class was fun today. I liked it. We had to write, like, instructions for our classmates to draw something.
I wish my college were that fun.
I am in English 99. So it's not real English yet.
Okay.
It's a paragraph writing class. And they're having me take that because I was out of school for a while. I did my first paper in that class on Minecraft wheat farming. And why farming by hand is better. Needless to say, I don't think my teacher was expecting that. I don't think anybody in the class was fucking expecting that. Hell, I didn't even know what I was gonna write about until the day of. Right, I was making hay bales. Oh, a skeleton died over there. Yes. Bones for bone meal. I need that to continue growing my trees. Oh yeah, you haven't seen my new trees yet.
Oh no.
I have many trees now. Let me just finish making up these hay bales. Okay, yeah, 22 should be enough. So, I kind of went ham the other day. Oh, there's a skeleton spawner near me. That's cool. Yeah, I've got pine trees now. Lots of them. Well, they're spruce trees, but pine trees.
Right.
Then I started growing... I went on a nether-themed adventure today, which is never good.
Another one.
Yes. I lost my sword. My diamond sword. But I got some new saplings from a dark oak forest. So, adding to my trees. I took the mountain near my house, and it's about 10 blocks lower than it was the last time you were here. I have been very busy, but I haven't been doing anything, like, exciting.
Is it just me, or is Minecraft just Animal Crossing, but better?
Do you mean, like, New Horizons Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh no, I'm on the horse. I don't want to be on the horse. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Johan. Yeah, they were probably trying to emulate Minecraft at least a little bit with their... Thank you, child. I am in the third person now. I know
The only reason I say that is probably my personal preference, but it just
Yes.
seemed that everything I like in New Horizons, Minecraft does it better.
I
Like,
mean,
uh,
honestly, fair enough. Minecraft was one of the, well, not one of the original crafting games because, point and click adventure games have been out for ever. Is that better? I don't know.
see in Animal Crossing you can make sprites, but it's very limited with how many you can make.
Oh, yes, yes, definitely. That is
Like I
very
can't help but think
limited.
I can't help but think when I make something, oh no, I can't make this because I won't have enough room.
Right?
Well, in Minecraft, like you can make as many color blocks as you like. Yeah, the colors or choices are limited, but
Still, you can actually do a lot with, like, Minecraft colors and stuff.
I
There
want
we
to make
go.
I want to make perler beads.
Oh, you want to make perler beads? I don't know how to make perlers, but I make a lot of, like the bracelets
Think
and stuff,
think I can make some and sell them.
Yeah! I was actually thinking about selling some of my bracelets that I make.
I was thinking doing it because I was like, well, my dad doesn't really like the idea of it. I actually wanted to sell them at a farmer's market.
Oh, that's awesome. I was thinking
It's
about
like
opening an Etsy shop with like a handful of color choices and stuff. Oh, God, does that look okay? I don't know. It's fine. I'm just being obnoxious.
because like I actually there was a time period where I liked making sprites, even though they were copies of others.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do a lot with that. Imagine if I made Among Us sprites
Oh my
or
God,
perlers.
they'd sell pretty well, I think.
Like, that's probably the first thing I make, even though I absolutely detest Among Us. I I'd have to make them because everyone else likes them,
Yeah.
and I and yeah, I do just hate it because it's popular.
Hipster.
I know.
I say that affectionately, I promise.
You say everything affectionately if you're talking to me. Let's be honest.
Maybe. Why is this so difficult for me to just like figure out how I want to put a hay down?
Hey now.
I'm having such a hard time and I definitely shouldn't be. This is like simple.
Hey now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Get paid.
Go play. All that glitters is gold.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Yeah. Why is this so hard? Jesus. Okay.
How are my pants looking?
So far, so good. I didn't really work on them much today because I had to study. I'll work on them more when I'm at work next.
I have a serious question.
Yes?
One that'll shape your and reshape your entire thought process. Um,
Okay.
why are pants not called? Why are pants called pants? Shouldn't they be
Longs?
Shouldn't they be called a pant because it's only one piece of fabric? Why is it why? Because like they say a pair of pants, but it's not a pair of pants. It's just one thing of pants or pant.
Okay. It's pant when you're referring to just a leg, it's a pant leg. But pants is implying that there's two legs on the garment.
But it's one
It's a weird
garment.
linguistic hiccup in English that arguably doesn't make much sense and could very easily be changed. But, you know.
Pant.
I mean, honestly, you could also call them longs because we have pants that are shorts, which was originally slang for short pants.
Shorts, but shouldn't they be called a short? Because, yeah, I know.
Could also call pants talls.
Or just tall.
Tall. Perhaps.
Ah.
Scoot.
Singular, plural. I hate.
English is a silly language. It is 3 languages in a trench coat. I refuse to acknowledge it as anything else.
What's the point of the letter X? It's just the sound of...
Damn it.
It's just the sound of E, K, and S. And when it's not that, it's ripping off Z. What's with silent letters?
Silent letters are a pain in the ass, and that's because of the French influence on the English language. And that's not just me blaming French for all of my problems in life.
The letter N is normally okay with talking, but when P is around, it gets all silent and stuff. I get a lot of this knowledge from grade A under A.
Then, of course, there's all of the pain of I before E, except after C, and all of these other fucking exceptions.
When it makes an A sound.
Yeah, and when it makes an A sound.
Well, it's I before except after C, and then when it makes an A sound.
Here's the proof.
Oh, excuse me, there's 2 exceptions. That's right.
But the first video I saw from him was why credit cards was why gift cards are a scam.
Why are gift cards a scam? Please explain.
Okay. I was thinking about this even before I saw that video. Aren't gift cards just money that you... Well, gift cards really are just money.
But plastic.
But you can't spend them wherever you want. You can only spend them at select things, like...
Yeah.
And like, why not just give me $20? Like, yeah, there is zero thought that gets put as money as a gift, but there's really no more thought put into a credit card or a gift card.
Yeah. Damn, if somebody's giving you a credit card for your birthday, hot shit, dude.
Here's another thing. I found out that gift cards actually cost a lot less to make than the amount they make. Like, a $20 gift card costs a lot less to make than $20.
Oh, yes, it costs about less than a cent because it's just a big fucking sheet of plastic that they cut down.
Yeah, they put, like, barcodes in them and stuff.
And again, that also is not a very expensive process. Barcodes have been around for years. Did I announce what I was doing, or am I just wandering around in circles trying to figure out what I was doing?
Probably both.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
With this $20, I can go anywhere I want. With this gift card, I can only go here.
Yeah.
I think the one benefit with gift cards is that it works for people who are very indecisive.
Yeah. They really do. I can attest to that. I am very indecisive. Gift cards are a great gift for me. Oh, shit. There's the trapdoors. Is it? Oh, it's raining again. Okay. Matt is not sleeping. I keep forgetting to, check that.
Let's just stay indoors and do nothing.
That sounds like a good time.
I don't know if you saw this, but on my first Hades stream that you were a part of, that you joined, Matthew literally told us to get a hotel room.
I know he did. Nerd.
I didn't know that till last night.
Oh, you didn't notice?
Yeah, I didn't see that in the chat.
I noticed. I'm pretty sure I told them to hush. I can't remember though.
I told him I didn't have the monies.
Oh god, mood. Who has money to go to go to a hotel? What the fuck was I doing? I am just providing the best content. Oh man. This is fine. Okay, there we go. Oh! No! No! I don't need any more horses! Fuck off, God! No more! No more! I heard thunder.
Horse-
I'm not
horse
having
shit.
it today. Oh shit, I can put those in there? Cool. I'm not gonna do that, but that's fun. What the fuck am I gonna do with this hay? Oh wait, I can just unmake it.
I keep forgetting Minecraft came out in 2010.
It is 11 years old? Yeah, it's 2021. It's 11 years old. Fun. Minecraft and my little brother are the same age. My baby brother, I should say. The younger one. That's fun. I don't know what to do with that information, but boy do I have it. Oh my god, I have so much wheat now. This is a good day. The stocks are replenished.
And Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time.
Followed closely behind by, I believe, Tetris.
Actually, it's Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, okay.
I did not expect Grand Theft Auto 5 to be the second to be ridiculously good selling. It's a good game, but like Jesus.
No. Stop it. No more horses. I don't want any more. I literally spent most of my free time today making the horse stable. Because there were too many horses for my house. And I needed to do something about it.
I guess you could say you were horsing around.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh wow, Mario Kart 8's in the top 10 best-selling games.
Oh, that's nice. Good to know.
My next battle review, which I'm working on right now, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe versus Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed.
Hell yeah.
Transformed is so good.
Yes, I need bone meal. That's one of the things that I was doing. No, damn it. I'm debating. There we go.
Deluxe 33. New Horizons is almost the best-selling Switch game, but if I'm being honest, Nintendo literally only having that as the only game last year was probably what did that.
Well, also, the Animal Crossing fans are fucking rabid, dude.
They are?
They are so starved for content that they saw knees on the New Horizons model and went, like, fucking feral on Twitter about it.
It's, I'm surprised they're so starved for, content when they get it all the time.
They've been getting a lot of content now, but New Leaf hadn't come out, or it had been out for quite a while.
Oh, I guess,
And then there
Amiibo
weren't
Fest-
really any further installments in the Animal Crossing franchise outside of Pocket Camp.
and, Amiibo Festival on Wii U, which is terrible.
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot about that. Boned meal. Yes, good.
Astral Chain, Pokken Tournament, Xenoblade Definitive,
Ooh, sandwich.
Three
That is
Houses.
a beautiful grilled cheese. Holy shit.
Three Houses almost sold 3 million. That's a
Is
surprise.
that Fire Emblem?
Yeah, Fire Emblem.
Nice.
Among Us. Among Us.
Oh, come on, tree.
Yes.
No, tree. Ah! I'm trying to get this tree to grow, but it's being stubborn.
Can we get Mario
So
Odyssey
rude.
stuff?
So rude.
I'm sorry.
Not you, there was a spider that was, like, beating the shit out of me.
Oh, well.
And it's not like one of the hot spiders from Monster Musume or anything.
Oh, well?
If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, I'm not telling you anymore. Oh boy, Persona noises again. Professionalism. Okay. So now I just have to figure out what I want to do with this newly opened up spot in my house.
Good.
I'm debating on whether or not it should be a farm or just more flowers. There we go. Just finishing off my coffee real quick. There we go.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I could use that because I need less sleep. I wish I'd slept less.
I need to fix my sleep schedule. I'm dying.
I've been very lazy this whole month. Like,
I have a new alarm on my phone for 8 p.m. to tell me to stop playing games. So that way I can do something else for a little bit. Maybe relax.
I just need a schedule. Like, I mean,
Watch some animus.
normally I just spend the whole day waking up
Right.
and just watch YouTube videos because that's all I like. That's my comfort zone.
Fuck. That was very loud. Better not be more fucking horses. I don't want any more fucking horses, goddamn. Like, the skeleton horses are cool, but do I really need more? No.
Hey, I don't even want to say this because this is my comfort zone too. I would like to get more work done on my YouTube video. I got minutes. I got almost like 3 minutes done on it yesterday. which is pretty good.
Nice.
And I would definitely like to get some progress done today, but then again,
What the f-
that pretty much would require my focus, so I'm probably gonna have to get off the call.
Yeah, that's fine. If you need to do other things, I understand.
I just want to be here, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, if you just want to vibe and not talk, that's fine too. Fucker. If you hear me saying swear words, it's not about you. It's about the things in the Minecraft that are killing me.
I understand. But I'm probably gonna have to, like I said, I'm probably gonna have to.
Why are you in my
So-
house? I completely
question.
understand. You have, you've got shit to do.
Choosing, should I guess I'm just trying to start making decisions that step out of my comfort zone, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't like talking to you. It's more like, well, yeah, you understand that part, but like, if this were Danganronpa, I'd probably stay here. But like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't particularly like watching Minecraft.
Oh yeah, I know. I think you've told me about that before.
You're the exception,
Fucker.
of course. But like, oh, nice house.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I didn't even notice the glass over here.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've got a big window.
But I just like to think I just like to think that Minecraft is probably more fun to play than it is to watch. Well, for me. Other people might disagree, but like, this is just not... Minecraft has my interest like maybe 10% of the time.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's currently what I'm hyper fixated on, so I can't really.
Any way to get back into video games?
Oh, come on, stop killing me. Fucker,
Dodge
let me get my
left
stuff.
and right.
Ha. It's kind of hard to do that in the water. There. He got one off on me as I killed him. This is fine. I think I currently have the highest number of deaths on this server. There isn't much competition for that spot, though.
Yep. I'll leave the chat, but I'll definitely stay on the on the Twitch. It's just so you can have so you have my view at least.
It's appreciated. But yes, have fun with your video.
I wish
I'm
I.
confident you'll do a good job.
I do too. Hope I can have fun with this. All right. I'll be there for your next stream.
No problem. The next one's either going to be Armada or Danganronpa, depending on what kind of time I've got.
You got it.
Yeah. Have fun. Bye.
The hardest thing for me to do is say goodbye.
Aw.
I swear, that's not just you, but that's just in general. Like, I have a hard time wrapping things up.
I understand that. I tend to ramble.
Yeah. How's your live stream of one going?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, what happened to my voice?
Vibe Town. Party of one.
Let's go. We're taking back those stolen desires.
Yeah, Natsume won't know what hit it.
I might actually switch my microphone off for a bit and
Stay sharp.
That's nice. I'm vibing. Pull up some of the things I've been wanting to do on the Wednesdays, which is turn on that dank text-to-speech and have it read some Wikipedia articles or something. So, I might do that today. Or I'll turn on an audiobook or something. I still haven't decided, but kinda already done all the talking that I wanted to do today.
The Art of War by Sun Tzu, translated by Lionel Giles. Part 1. Laying Plans. Sun Tzu said, "The art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road either to safety or to ruin. Hence it is a subject of inquiry, which can on no account be neglected. The art of war, then, is governed by 5 constant factors, to be taken into account in one's deliberations, when seeking to determine the conditions obtaining in the field. These are 1. The moral law, 2. Heaven, 3. Earth, 4. The commander, 5. Method and discipline. The moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler, so that they will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by any danger. Heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons. Earth comprises distances, great and small, danger and security, open ground and narrow passes, the chances of life and death. The commander stands for the virtues of wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and strictness. By method and discipline are to be understood the marshalling of the army in its proper subdivisions, the graduations of rank among the officers, the maintenance of roads by which supplies may reach the army, and the control of military expenditure. These 5 heads should be familiar to every general. He who knows them will be victorious. He who knows them not will fail. Therefore, in your deliberations, when seeking to determine the military conditions, let them be made the basis of a comparison in this wise. 1. Which of the 2 sovereigns is imbued with the moral law? 2. Which of the 2 generals has most ability? 3. With whom lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth? 4. On which side is discipline most rigorously enforced? 5. Which army is stronger? 6. On which side are officers and men more highly trained? 7. In which army is there the greater constancy both in reward and punishment? By means of these 7 considerations I can forecast victory or defeat. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel nor acts upon it will suffer defeat. Let such a one be dismissed. While heeding the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also of any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules. According as circumstances are favorable, one should modify one's plans. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. Hold out baits to entice the enemy. Feign disorder and crush him. If he is secure at all points, be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. If he is taking his ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. Attack him where he is unprepared. Appear where you are not expected. These military devices, leading to victory, must not be divulged beforehand. Now the general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple ere the battle is fought. The general who loses a battle makes but few calculations beforehand. Thus do many calculations lead to victory, and few calculations to defeat. How much more no calculation at all? It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or lose. End of Part 1. Part 2. Waging War. Sun Tzu said, in the operations of war, where there are in the field 1,000 swift chariots, as many heavy chariots, and 100,000 mail-clad soldiers, with provisions enough to carry them 1,000 li, the expenditure at home and at the front, including entertainment of guests, small items such as glue and paint, and sums spent on chariots and armor, will reach the total of 1,000 ounces of silver per day. Such is the cost of raising an army of 100,000 men. When you engage in actual fighting, if victory is long in coming, then men's weapons will grow dull and their ardor will be damped. If you lay siege to a town, you will exhaust your strength. Again, if the campaign is protracted, the resources of the state will not be equal to the strain. Now, when your weapons are dulled, your ardor damped, your strength exhausted, and your treasure spent, other chieftains will spring up to take advantage of your extremity. Then no man, however wise, will be able to avert the consequences that must ensue. Thus, though we have heard of stupid haste in war, cleverness has never been seen associated with long delays. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. It is only one who is thoroughly acquainted with the evils of war that can thoroughly understand the profitable way of carrying it on. The skillful soldier does not raise a second levy. Neither are his supply wagons loaded more than twice. Bring war material with you from home, but forage on the
The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Chapter 1. An Unexpected Party. In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole, filled with the ends of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole, with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. It had a perfectly rounded door, like a porthole, painted green, with a shiny yellow brass knob in the exact middle. The door opened onto a tube-shaped hall like a tunnel, a very comfortable tunnel without smoke, with panelled walls and floors tiled and carpeted, provided with polished chairs and lots of pegs for hats and coats. The hobbit was fond of visitors. The tunnel wound on and on, going fairly but not quite straight into the side of the hill. The hill, as all the people for many miles around called it, and many little round doors opened out of it, first on one side and then on another. No going upstairs for the hobbit. Bedrooms, bathrooms, cellars, pantries, lots of these. Wardrobes, he had whole rooms devoted to clothes. Kitchens, dining rooms were all on the same floor, and indeed on the same passage. The best rooms were all on the left-hand side, going in, for these were the only ones to have windows, deep-set, round windows, looking over his garden and meadows beyond, sloping down to the river. This hobbit was a very well-to-do hobbit, and his name was Baggins. The Bagginses had lived in the neighborhood of the hill for time out of mind, and people considered them very respectable, not only because most of them were rich, but also because they never had any adventures or did anything unexpected. You could tell what a Baggins would say on any question without the bother of asking him. This is a story of how a Baggins had an adventure, and found himself doing and saying things altogether unexpected. He may have lost the neighbors' respect, but he gained, well, you will see whether he gained anything in the end. The mother of our particular hobbit. What is a hobbit? I suppose hobbits need some description nowadays, since they have become rare and shy of the big people, as they call us. They are, or were, a little people, about half our height, and smaller than the bearded dwarves. Hobbits have no beards. There is little or no magic about them, except the ordinary, everyday sort, which helps them to disappear quietly and quickly when large, stupid folk like you and me come blundering along, making a noise like elephants which they can hear a mile off. They are inclined to be fat in the stomach. They dress in bright colors, chiefly green and yellow. Wear no shoes, because their feet grow natural leathery soles, and thick, warm brown hair like the stuff on their heads, which is curly. Have long, clever brown fingers, good-natured faces, and laugh deep, fruity laughs, especially after dinner, which they have twice a day when they can get it. Now you know enough to go on. As I was saying, the mother of this hobbit, of Bilbo Baggins that is, was the famous Belladonna Took, one of the three remarkable daughters of the old Took, head of the hobbits who lived across the water, the small river that ran at the foot of the hill. It was often said, in other times, that long ago, one of the Took ancestors must have taken a fairy wife. That was of course absurd, but certainly there was still something not entirely hobbit-like about them. And once in a while, members of the Took clan would go and have adventures. They discreetly disappeared, and the family hushed it up. But the fact remained that the Tooks were not as respectable as the Bagginses, though they were undoubtedly richer. Not that Belladonna Took ever had any adventures after she became Mrs. Bungo Baggins. Bungo, that was Bilbo's father, built the most luxurious hobbit hole for her, and partly with her money, that was to be found either under the hill or over the hill or across the water. And there they remained to the end of their days. Still, it is probable that Bilbo, her only son, although he looked and behaved exactly like a second edition of his solid and comfortable father, got something a bit queer in his makeup from the Took side. Something that only waited for a chance to come out. The chance never arrived, until Bilbo Baggins was grown up, being about 50 years old or so, and living in the beautiful hobbit hole built by his father, which I've just described for you, until he had in fact apparently settled down immovably. By some curious chance one morning, long ago in the quiet of the world, when there was less noise and more greenery, and the hobbits were still numerous and prosperous, and Bilbo was standing at his door after breakfast, smoking an enormous long wooden pipe that reached nearly down to his wooden toes, neatly brushed, Gandalf came by. Gandalf. If you had heard only a quarter of what I've heard about him, and I have heard only very little of all there is to hear, you would be prepared for any sort of remarkable tale. Tales and adventures sprouted up all over the place wherever he went, in the most extraordinary fashion. He had not been down that way under the hill for ages and ages, not since his friend the old Took died, in fact, and the hobbits had almost forgotten what he looked like. He had been away over the hill and across the water on businesses of his own, since they were all small hobbit boys and hobbit girls. All that the unsuspecting Bilbo saw that morning was an old man with a staff. He had a tall, pointed blue hat, a long grey cloak, a silver scarf over which his long white beard hung down below his waist, and immense black boots. "Good morning," said Bilbo, and he meant it. The sun was shining, and the grass was very green. But Gandalf looked at him from under long, bushy eyebrows that stuck out further than the brim of his shady hat.
What do you mean?
He said,
Do you wish me a good morning? Or mean that it is a good morning whether I want it or not? Or that you feel good this morning? Or that it is a morning to be good on?
All of them at once, said Bilbo. And a very fine morning for a pipe of tobacco out of doors into the bargain. If you have a pipe with you, sit down and have a fill of mine. There is no hurry, we have all the day before us.
Then Bilbo sat down on a seat by his door, crossed his legs, and blew out a beautiful grey ring of smoke that sailed up into the air without breaking and floated away over the hill.
Oh, very pretty,
said Gandalf.
But I have no time to blow smoke rings this morning. I am looking for someone to share in an adventure that I'm arranging. And it's very difficult to find anyone.
Well, I should think so. In these parts, we are a plain, quiet folk and have no use for adventures. Nasty, disturbing, uncomfortable things and make you late for dinner. I can't think of what anybody sees in them,
said our Mr. Baggins, and stuck one thumb behind his braces and blew out another even bigger smoke ring. Then he took out his morning letters and began to read, pretending to take no more notice of the old man. He had decided that he was not quite his sort, and wanted him to go away. But the old man did not move. He stood, leaning on his stick, and gazing at the hobbit without saying anything, till Bilbo got quite uncomfortable, and even a little cross.
Good morning,
he said at last.
We don't want any adventures here, thank you. You might try over the hill or across the water.
By this, he meant that the conversation was at an end.
What a lot of things you do use good morning for,
said Gandalf.
Now you mean that you want to get rid of me, and that it won't be good till I move off.
No, not at all, not at all, my dear sir. Let me see. I don't think I know your name.
Yes, my dear sir, and I do know your name, Mr. Bilbo Baggins. And you do know my name, though you don't remember I belong to it. I am Gandalf. And Gandalf means me. To think I should have left me good morning to my Belladonna Took's son, as if I was selling buttons at the door.
Gandalf! Good gracious me! Not the the wandering wizard that gave old Took a pair of magic diamond studs that fastened themselves and never came undone until ordered? Not the fellow who used to tell such wonderful tales at parties about dragons and goblins and giants and the rescue of princesses and the unexpected luck of widows' sons? Not the man that used to make such particularly excellent fireworks. I remember those. Oh, Took used to have them on Midsummer's Eve. Splendid. Oh, they used to go up like great lilies and snapdragons and laburnums of fire, and hang in the twilight all evening.
You will notice already that Mr. Baggins was not quite so prosy as he liked to believe. Also, that he was very fond of flowers.
Dear me.
He went on.
Not the Gandalf who was responsible for so many quiet lads and lasses going off into the blue for mad adventures. Anything from climbing trees to visiting elves, sailing in ships, sailing to other shores. Bless me, I used to be quite you used to upset things badly in these parts once upon a time. I beg your pardon, but I had no idea you were still in business.
Well, where else should I be?
Said the wizard.
All the same, I'm pleased to find you remember something about me. You seem to remember my fireworks kindly, at any rate. And that is not without hope. Indeed, for your old grandfather Took's sake, and for the sake of poor Belladonna, I will give you what you asked for.
I beg your pardon? I haven't asked for anything.
Yes, you have. Twice now. My pardon, I give it to you. In fact, I will go so far as to send you on this adventure. Very amusing for me, very good for you, and profitable too, very likely, if you ever get over it.
Sorry, I don't want any adventures, thank you. Not today. Good morning. But please come to tea anytime you like. Oh, why not tomorrow? Come tomorrow. Goodbye.
With that, the hobbit turned and scuttled inside his round green door and shut it as quickly as he dared, not to seem rude. Wizards, after all, are wizards.
What on earth did I ask him to tea for?
He said to himself as he went to the pantry. He had only just had breakfast, but he thought a cake or two and a drink of something would do him good after his fright. Gandalf, in the meanwhile, was still standing outside his door and laughing long but quietly. After a while, he stepped up and, with the spike on his staff, scratched a queer sign on the hobbit's beautiful green front door. Then he strode away, just about the time when Bilbo was finishing his second cake and beginning to think that he had escaped adventures very well. The next day, he had almost forgotten about Gandalf. He did not remember things very well unless he put them down on his engagement tablet like this.
Gandalf tea Wednesday.
Yesterday, he had been too flustered to do anything of the kind. Just before tea time, there came a tremendous ring on the front doorbell, and then he remembered. He rushed and put on the kettle and put out another cup and saucer and an extra cake or two and ran to the door.
I am so sorry to keep you waiting.
He was going to say, when he saw that it was not Gandalf at all. It was a dwarf with a blue beard tucked into a golden belt and very bright eyes under his dark green hood. As soon as the door was opened, he pushed inside just as if he had been expected. He hung his hooded cloak on the nearest peg and,
Dwalin, at your service,
he said with a low bow.
Bilbo Baggins, that yours?
Said the hobbit, too surprised to ask any questions for the moment. When the silence that followed had become uncomfortable, he added,
I am just about to take tea. Pray come and have some with me.
A little stiff perhaps, but he meant it kindly. And what would you do if an uninvited dwarf came and hung his things up in your hall without a word of explanation? They had not been at table long. In fact, they had hardly reached the third cake, when there came another even louder ring at the bell.
Excuse me,
said the hobbit, and off he went to the door.
So you've got here at last.
That was what he was going to say to Gandalf this time, but it was not Gandalf. Instead, there was a very old-looking dwarf on the step, with a white beard and a scarlet hood, and he too hopped inside as soon as the door was open, just as if he had been invited.
I see they have begun to arrive already,
he said when he caught sight of Dwalin's green hood hanging up. He hung his red one next to it, and,
Balin, at your service,
he said with his hand on his breast.
Thank you,
said Bilbo with a gasp. It was not the correct thing to say, but they have begun to arrive had flustered him badly. He liked visitors, but he liked to know them before they arrived, and he preferred to ask them himself. He had a horrible thought that the cakes might run short, and then he, as the host, he knew his duty and stuck to it however painful. He might have to go without.
Come along in and have some tea.
He managed to say after taking a deep breath.
A little beer would suit me better, if it is all the same to you, my good sir.
Said Balin with the white beard.
But I don't mind some cake. A seed cake, if you have any.
Lots.
Bilbo found himself answering, to his own surprise, and he found himself scuttling off, too, to the cellar to fill a pint beer mug, and then to a pantry to fetch 2 beautiful round seed cakes, which he had baked that afternoon for his after-supper morsel. When he got back, Balin and Dwalin were talking at the table like old friends. As a matter of fact, they were. Bilbo plumped down the beer and the cake in front of them, when loud came a ring at the bell again, and then another ring.
Gandalf for certain this time,
he thought as he puffed along the passage. But it was not. It was 2 more dwarves, both with blue hoods, silver belts, and yellow beards, and each of them carried a bag of tools and a spade. In they hopped as soon as the door began to open. Bilbo was hardly surprised at all.
What can I do for you, my dwarves?
He said.
Keely, at your service,
said the one,
and Feely.
added the other, and they both swept off their blue hoods and bowed.
At yours and your families.
Replied Bilbo, remembering his manners this time.
Dwalin and Balin here already, I see.
Said Keely.
Let us join the throng.
Throng?
Thought Mr. Baggins.
I don't like the sound of that. I really must sit down for a minute and collect my wits. Have a drink.
He had only just had a sip in the corner while the 4 dwarves sat around the table and talked about mines and gold and troubles with the goblins and the depredations of dragons and lots of other things which he did not understand and did not want to, for they sounded much too adventurous. When ding-dong-a-ling-lang, his bell rang again, as if some naughty little hobbit boy was trying to pull the handle off.
Someone at the door,
He said, blinking.
Some 4, I should say, by the sound.
Said Feely.
Besides, we saw them coming along behind us in the distance.
The poor little hobbit sat down in the hall and put his head in his hands and wondered what had happened and what was going to happen and whether they would all stay to supper. Then the bell rang again louder than ever, and he had to run to the door. It was not 4 after all. It was 5. Another dwarf had come along while he was wandering in the hall. He had hardly turned the knob before they were all inside, bowing and saying,
at your service.
one after another. Dori, Nori, Ori, Owen, and Gloin were their names. And very soon, 2 purple hoods, a grey hood, a brown hood, and a white hood were hanging on the pegs. And off they marched with their broad hands stuck in their gold and silver belts to join the others. Already, it had almost become a throng. Some called for ale, and some for porter, and one for coffee, and all of them for cakes. So the hobbit was kept very busy for a while. A big jug of coffee had just been set in the hearth. The seed cakes were gone, and the dwarves were starting on a round of buttered scones, when there came a loud knock. Not a boom, but a hard rattle on the hobbit's beautiful green door. Somebody was banging with a stick. Bilbo rushed along the passage, very angry, and altogether bewildered and bewildered. This was the most awkward Wednesday he ever remembered. He pulled open the door with a jerk, and they all fell in, one on top of the other. More dwarfs, 4 more. And there was Gandalf behind, leaning on his staff and laughing. He had made quite a dent on the beautiful door. He had also, by the way, knocked out the secret mark that he had put there the morning before.
Carefully, carefully.
He said,
It is not like you, Bilbo, to keep friends waiting on the mat and then open the door like a pop gun. Let me introduce Biffa, Bofa, Bomber, and especially Thorin.
At your service. At your service.
At your service.
said Biffa, Bofa, and Bomber standing in a row. Then they hung up 2 yellow hoods and a pale green one, and also a sky blue one with a long silver tassel. This last belonged to Thorin, an enormously important dwarf. In fact, no other than the great Thorin Oakenshield himself, who was not at all pleased at falling flat on Bilbo's mat, with Biffa, Bofa, and Bomber on top of him. For one thing, Bomber was immensely fat and heavy. Thorin indeed was very haughty, and said nothing about service, but poor Mr. Baggins said he was sorry so many times that at last he grunted,
Pray, don't mention it.
and stopped frowning.
Now we are all here.
Said Gandalf, looking at the row of 13 hoods, the best detachable party hoods, and his own hat hanging on the pegs.
Quite a merry gathering. I hope there is something left for the latecomers to eat and drink. What's that? Tea? No, thank you. A little red wine, I think, for me.
And for me, said Thorin.
Raspberry jam and apple tart.
Said Biffa.
And mince pies and cheese.
Said Bofa.
And pork pie and salad.
Said Bomber.
And more cakes. And ale. And coffee if you don't mind.
Called the other dwarves through the door.
Put on a few eggs, there's a good fellow.
Gandalf called after him as the hobbits stumped off to the pantries.
And just bring out the cold chicken and
Seems to know as much about the inside of my larders as I do myself.
Thought Mr. Baggins, who was feeling positively flummoxed and was beginning to wonder whether a most wretched adventure had not come right into his house. By the time he had got all the bottles and dishes and knives and forks and glasses and plates and spoons and things piled up on big trays, he was getting very hot and red in the face and annoyed.
Oh, confustigated be bothered, these dwarves.
He said aloud,
Why don't they come and lend a hand?
Lo and behold, there stood Balin and Dwalin at the door of the kitchen, and Feely and Keely behind them, and before he could say, knife, they had whisked the trays and a couple of small tables in the room, and set out everything afresh. Gandalf sat at the head of the party, with 13 dwarves all round. Bilbo sat on a stool at the fireside, nibbling at a biscuit. His appetite was quite taken away, and trying to look as if this was all perfectly ordinary, and not in the least an adventure. The dwarves ate and talked, and time went on. At last, they pushed their chairs back, and Bilbo made a move to collect their plates and glasses.
I suppose you will all stay to supper?
He said in his politest, unpressing tones.
Of course,
said Thorin.
And after. We shan't get through the business till late, and we must have some music first. Now to clear up.
Thereupon, the 12 dwarves, not Thorin, he was too important and stayed talking to Gandalf, jumped to their feet and made tall piles of all the things. Off they went, not waiting for trays, balancing columns of plates, each with a bottle on top, on one hand, while the hobbit ran after them almost squeaking with fright.
Please be careful, and please don't trouble I can manage.
But the dwarves only started to sing.
Chip the glasses and crack the plates, blunt the knives and bend the forks. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. Smash the bottles and burn the corks. Stop the cloth and tread on the fat. Go on the little pantry floor. Leave the dogs in the bedroom and splash the wine on every door. Dump the brooks in a boiling bowl. Pound the wine with a roll. When you're finished, a penny a hole. Send them down the hall to roll. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. Carefully, carefully with the plates.
And of course they did none of these dreadful things, and everything was as they sang, the hobbit felt the love of beautiful things made by hands and by cunning and by magic moving through him. A fierce and a jealous love, the desire of the hearts of dwarves. Then something Tookish woke up inside him, and he wished to go and see the great mountains, and hear the pine trees and the waterfalls, and explore the caves, and wear a sword instead of a walking stick. He looked out of the window. The stars were out in the dark sky above the trees. He thought of the jewels of the dwarves shining in dark caverns. Suddenly, in the wood beyond the water, a flame leapt up, probably someone lighting a wood fire, and he thought of plundering dragons settling on his quiet hill and kindling it all to flames. He shuddered, and very quickly, he was plain Mr. Baggins of Bag End Under Hill again. He got up, trembling. He had less than half a mind to fetch the lamp, and more than half a mind to pretend to, and go and hide behind the beer barrels in the cellar, and not come out again until all the dwarves had gone away. Suddenly, he found that the music and the singing had stopped, and they were all looking at him with eyes shining in the dark.
Where are you going?
Said Thorin, in a tone that seemed to show that he guessed both halves of the hobbit's mind.
What about a little light?
Said Bilbo apologetically.
We like the dark,
said all the dwarves.
Dark for dark business. There are many hours before dawn.
Of course,
said Bilbo, and sat down in a hurry. He missed the stool and sat in the fender, knocking over the poker and shovel with a crash.
Hush!
Said Gandalf.
Let Thorin speak.
And this is how Thorin began.
Gandalf, dwarves, and Mr. Baggins. We are met together in the house of our friend and fellow conspirator, this most excellent and audacious hobbit. May the hair on his toes never fall out. All praise to his wine and ale.
He paused for breath, and for a polite remark from the hobbit, but the compliments were quite lost on poor Bilbo Baggins, who was wagging his mouth in protest at being called audacious, and worst of all, fellow conspirator, though no noise came out, he was so flummoxed. So Thorin went on.
We are met to discuss our plans, our ways, means, policy, and devices. We shall soon before the break of day start on our long journey, a journey from which some of us, or perhaps all of us, except our friend and counsel, the ingenious wizard Gandalf, may never return. It is a solemn moment. Our object is, I take it, well known to us all. To the estimable Mr. Baggins, and perhaps to one or two of the younger dwarves, I think I should be right in naming Keely and Phoebe, for instance. The exact situation at the moment may require a little brief explanation.
This was Thorin's style. He was an important dwarf. If he had been allowed, he would probably have gone on like this until he was out of breath, without telling anyone there anything that was not known already. But he was rudely interrupted. Poor Bilbo couldn't bear it any longer. At "may never return," he began to feel a shriek coming up inside, and very soon it burst out like the whistle of an engine coming out of a tunnel. All the dwarves sprang up, knocking over the table. Gandalf struck a blue light on the end of his magic staff, and in its firework glare, the poor little hobbit could be seen kneeling on the hearthrug, shaking like a jelly that was melting. Then he fell flat on the floor and kept on calling out,
Struck by lightning! Struck by lightning!
Over and over again, and that was all they could get out of him for a long time. So they took him and laid him out of the way on the drawing room sofa with a drink at his elbow. And they went back to their dark business.
Excitable little fellow,
said Gandalf as they sat down again.
It's very queer fits, but he's one of the best. One of the best, as fierce as a dragon in a pinch.
If you haven't seen a dragon in a pinch, you will realize that this was only poetical exaggeration applied to any hobbit, even to old Duke's great-granduncle Bullroarer, who was so huge for a hobbit that he could ride a horse. He charged the ranks of the goblins of Mount Gram in the Battle of the Green Fields, and knocked their King Golfimble's head clean off with a wooden club. It sailed 100 yards through the air, and went down a rabbit hole. And in this this way the battle was won, and the game of golf invented at the same moment. In the meanwhile, however, Bull Roarer's gentler descendant was reviving in the drawing room. After a while and a drink, he crept nervously to the door of the parlor. This is what he heard. Glowin speaking.
Will he do you think? It is all very well for Gandalf to talk about this hobbit being fierce, but one shriek like that in a moment of excitement would be enough to wake the dragon and all of his relatives and kill the lot of us. I think it sounded more like fright than excitement. In fact, if it had not been for the sign on the door, I should have been sure we had come to the wrong house. As soon as I clapped eyes on the little fellow bobbing and puffing on the mat, I had my doubts. He looks more like a grocer than a burglar.
Then Mr. Baggins turned the handle and went in. The Took side had won. He suddenly felt he would go without bed and breakfast to be thought fierce. As for little fellow bobbing on the mat, it almost made him really fierce. Many a time afterwards, the Baggins part regretted what he did now, and he said to himself,
Bilbo, you were a fool. You walked right in and put your foot in it. Pardon me,
he said,
if I have overheard words that you were saying. I don't pretend to understand what you are talking about, or your reference to burglars, but I think I am right in believing...
This is what he called being on his dignity.
...that you think I am no good. I will show you. I have no signs on my door. It was painted a week ago, and I'm quite sure you have come to the wrong house. As soon as I saw your funny faces on the doorstep, I had my doubts. But treat it as the right one. Tell me what you want done, and I will try. If I have to walk from here to the east of East to fight the great wereworms in the last desert. I had a great-great-great-granduncle once, Bull Roarer Took, and...
Yes, but that was long ago,
said Glowin.
I was talking about you, and I assure you, there is a mark on this door, the usual one in the trade, or used to be. Burglar wants a good job, plenty of excitement and reasonable reward. That's how it's usually read. You can say expert treasure hunter instead of burglar if you like. Some of them do. It's all the same to us. Gandalf told us that there was a man of the sort in these parts looking for a job at once, and that he had arranged for a meeting here, this Wednesday, tea time.
Of course there is a mark,
said Gandalf.
I put it there myself for very good reasons. You asked me to find the 14th man for your expedition, and I chose Mr. Baggins. Just let anyone say I chose the wrong man or the wrong house. And you can stop at 13 and have all the bad luck you like, or go back to digging coal.
He scowled so angrily at Glowin that the dwarf huddled back in his chair. And when Bilbo tried to open his mouth to answer the question, he turned and frowned at him and stuck out his bushy eyebrows, till Bilbo shut his mouth tight with a snap.
That's right,
said Gandalf.
Let's have no more argument. I have chosen Mr. Baggins, and that ought to be enough for all of you. If I say he is a burglar he is, or will be when the time comes. There is a lot more in him than you guess, and a great deal more than he has any idea of himself. You may, possibly, all live to thank me yet. Now, Bilbo, my boy, fetch the lamp, and let's have a little light on this.
On the table, in the light of a big lamp with a red shade, he spread a piece of parchment, rather like a map.
This was made by your grandfather, Thorin,
he said in answer to the dwarves' excited questions.
It is a plan of the mountain.
I don't see that this will help us much,
said Thorin disappointedly after a glance.
I remember the mountain well, and the lands about it. And I know where Mirkwood is, and the withered heath where the great dragons bred.
There is a dragon marked in red on the mountain,
said Balin.
But it will be easy enough to find him without that, if we ever arrive there.
There is one point that you haven't noticed,
said the wizard,
and that is the secret entrance. You see that rune on the west side, and the hand pointing to it from the other runes? That marks a hidden passage to the lower halls.
It may have been secret once,
said Thorin.
But how do we know that it is secret any longer? Old Smaug has lived there long enough now to find out anything there is to know about those caves.
He may, but he can't have used it for years and years.
Why?
Because it is too small. 5 feet high the door, and 3 may walk abreast, say the rules. But Smaug could not creep into a hole that size, Not even when he was a young dragon. Certainly not after devouring so many of the dwarves and men of Dale.
It seems like a great big hole to me.
Bilbo, who had no experience of dragons and only of hobbits. He was getting excited and interested again, so that he forgot to keep his mouth shut. He loved maps, and in his hall there hung a large one of the country round, with all his favourite walks marked on it in red ink.
How could such a large door be kept secret from everybody inside, apart from the dragon?
He asked. He was only a little hobbit, you must remember.
In lots of ways,
said Gandalf.
But in what way this one has been hidden, we don't know without going to see. From what it says on the map, I should guess there is a closed door that has been made to look exactly like the side of the mountain. It's the usual dwarves' method. I think that is right, isn't it?
Quite right,
said Thorin.
Also,
went on Gandalf.
I forgot to mention that with the map went a key. A small and curious key. Here it is,
he said, and handed to Thorin a key with a long barrel and intricate words made of silver.
Keep it safe.
Indeed, I will,
said Thorin, and he fastened it upon a fine chain that hung about his neck and under his jacket.
Now things begin to look more hopeful. This news alters them much for the better. So far, we have had no clear idea what to do. We thought of going east, as quiet and careful as we could, as far as the Long Lake. After that, the trouble would begin.
A long time before that, if I know anything about the roads east,
interrupted Gandalf.
We might go from there, up along the river running,
went on Thorin, taking no notice.
And so to the ruins of Dale, the old town in the valley there, under the shadow of the mountain. But we, none of us, liked the idea of the front gate. The river runs right out of it through the great cliff at the south of the mountain. And out of it comes the dragon too, far too often, unless he has changed his habits.
Oh, that would be no good,
said the wizard.
Not without a mighty warrior, even a hero. I tried to find one, but warriors are busy fighting one another in distant lands. And in this neighborhood, heroes are scarce or simply not to be found. Swords in these parts are mostly blunt, and axes are used for trees, and shields as cradles or dish covers. And dragons are comfortably far off, and therefore legendary. That is why I settled on burglary, especially when I remembered the existence of a side door. And here is our little Bilbo Baggins, the burglar, the chosen and selected burglar. So now, let's get on and make some plans.
Very well then,
said Thorin.
Supposing the burglar expert gives us some ideas or suggestions.
He turned with mock politeness to Bilbo.
First, I should like to know a bit more about things,
said he, feeling all confused and a bit shaky inside, but so far still tookishly determined to go on with things.
I mean about the gold and the dragon and all that, and how it got there and who it belongs to and so on and further.
Bless me,
said Thorin.
Haven't you got a map? And didn't you hear our song? And haven't we been talking about all this for hours?
All the same, I should like it all plain and clear,
said he obstinately, putting on his business manner, usually reserved for people who tried to borrow money off him, and doing his best to appear wise and prudent and professional, and live up to Gandalf's recommendation.
Also, I should like to know about risks, out-of-pocket expenses, time required and remuneration and so forth.
By which he meant, what am I going to get out of it? And am I going to come back alive?
Oh, very well,
said Thorin.
Long ago, in my grandfather Thror's time, our family was driven out of the far north, and came back with all their wealth and their tools to this mountain on the map. It had been discovered by my far ancestor, Thrain the Old, but now they mined and they tunneled, and they made huger halls and greater workshops, and in addition, I believe they found a good deal of gold, and a great many jewels too. Anyway, they grew immensely rich and famous, and my grandfather was king under the mountain again, and treated with great reverence by the mortal men who lived to the south, and were gradually spreading up the running river as far as the valley overshadowed by the mountain. They built the merry town of Dale there in those days. Kings used to send for our smiths, and reward even the least skillful most richly. Fathers would beg us to take their sons as apprentices, and pay us handsomely, especially in food supplies, which we never bothered to grow or find for ourselves. Altogether, those were good days for us, and the poorest of us had money to spend and to lend, and leisure to make beautiful things just for the fun of it, not to speak of the most marvelous and magical toys, the like of which is not to be found in the world nowadays. So my grandfather's halls became full of armor and jewels and carvings and cups, and the toy market of Dale was the wonder of the North. Undoubtedly that was what brought the dragon. Dragons steal gold and jewels, you know, from men and elves and dwarves wherever they can find them, and they guard their plunder as long as they live, which is practically forever unless they are killed, and never enjoy a brass ring of it. Indeed, they hardly know a good bit of work from a bad, though they usually have a good notion of the current market value. And they can't make a thing for themselves, not even mend a little loose scale of their armor. There were lots of dragons in the north in those days, and gold was probably getting scarce up there, with dwarves flying south or getting killed, and all the general waste and destruction the dragons make going from bad to worse. There was a most specially greedy, strong, and wicked worm called Smaug. One day, he flew up into the air and came south. The first we heard of it was a noise like a hurricane coming from the north, and the pine trees on the mountain creaking and cracking in the wind. Some of the dwarves who happened to be outside, I was one luckily, a fine adventurous lad in those days, always wandering about, and it saved my life that day. Well, from a long way off, we saw the dragon settle on our mountain in a spout of flame. Then he came down the slopes, and when he reached the woods, they all went up in fire. By that time, all the bells were ringing in Dale, and the warriors were arming. The dwarves rushed out of that great gate, but there was the dragon waiting for them. None escaped that way. The river rushed up in steam, and a fog fell on Dale. And in the fog, the dragon came on them and destroyed most of the warriors. The usual unhappy story. It was only too common in those days. Then he went back, and crept in through the front gate, and routed out all the halls and lanes and tunnels, alleys, cellars, mansions, and passages. After that, there were no dwarves left alive inside, and he took all their wealth for himself. Probably, for that is the dragon's way, he has piled it all up in a great heap far inside, and sleeps on it for a bed. Later, he used to crawl out of the great gate, and come by night to Dale, and carry away people, especially maidens, to eat, until Dale was ruined, and all the people dead or gone. What goes on there now, I don't know for certain, but I don't suppose anyone lives nearer to the mountain than the far edge of the long lake nowadays.
I'm not sure what's wrong. Natsumi tried his hardest, but somewhere along the
Okay.
way, we lost sight
Good night,
of
everyone. Have a good night.
a strange person. Natsume.
There we go. Got that paused. Okay. Everyone have a good night. Good night, good night.